for Tala on her 18th birthday. I graduated in May of '06 from UC Berkeley, and I got a job as an environmental engineer. It was the worst job I ever had. It lasted 6 months, then I quit and started doing solar and installing solar panels on roofs, and I liked that work. It was alright, but then I realized it was crazy dangerous for the money. I got shocked, and then yeah, anyways, I felt more like surfing, so I went surfing in Mexico for 4 months, and I got pretty good. And then kind of after about 3 months, I went from my spot La Saladita up to Tikla, which is a wave that breaks on an Indian reservation on a rocky pebble beach, and it's about 4 hours south of Guadalajara. And I surfed there for a while. I had been there for maybe 10 days or more when then one day there was this it was a super clear day, and there was this tiny little speck of a cloud way out at sea. It was really dark, black cloud. And it kept getting bigger and bigger, and it must have been at 20, 30, 40 miles out off the coast. And then, it didn't move at all. It just grew in one place, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and black, like dark cloud. I've never seen a cloud like it really again or before. It was so dark, black, and solid. And then, all of a sudden it started coming towards shore, and then it got closer. It started throwing these pink lightning bolts down. Blah, 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 all over the place, like 2 or 3 per second, like out of every side. It was like a giant battleship from Star Wars or something floating in towards shore. And then it started raining, and it started raining in sheets, just coming down so hard that the whole beach was like underwater. Started to get big puddles and rivers in the beach, and me and about 20 people were underneath the roof. And I said, "Oh shit, our tents!" Because some of us were staying in tents under this enramada, which is like a roof with some posts on the beach in Mexico. Sometimes this one was a metal roof, so they call it enramada. Sometimes they call them palapas. But so me and this other guy, we dug a big trench around the tents as fast as we could, and it filled up with water like a moat, but our tents stayed dry, and we just finished, and I was like, whew, exhausted, and I leaned against the post and looked up at the ceiling, and there was a hole in the metal, and I saw the pink lightning flash, and I felt the shock, and I fell to my knees because my leg collapsed. And then I said, "F yeah, I just got struck by lightning!" And I was hella stoked, and I ran around telling everyone. And then like a half an hour later, I felt all like charred, like burnt, like cooked, like a pain in my stomach, kind of like, because the lightning went from my left shoulder to my right leg to my right foot. And so then, of course, you know, being struck by lightning on an Indian reservation, I kind of maybe included that in my story that I'm about to tell. And then, like a week later, I was surfing this long wave, like beautiful long wave, and I was kind of bored on the wave. Oh no, wait, that was before. First I got bored riding this great wave, and then I got struck by lightning, and then I kept surfing, and a few days later I got this I got the surfboard stuck in my eye, right there, and it severed my canaliculus, which is where the tears drain from your eye. And so I went to Guadalajara and hung out with some friends there, and then ended up going back to get a surgery in the States.